So game 1 of this best of 3. Last chance, one of these players will not be competing in WCS Season 2. And that is a hard thing to kind of take and be like, I missed out on that Premier Tournament, the place every competitive pro really wants to be. Let's introduce these two who are spawning on merry-go-round to the south position, representing E-Stars, the red Terran player, Botvinnik. And to the top left, his opponent, the green Zerg, representing Team Dignitas, it is Tefel. Oh yeah, Tefel. He's got this. Or does Botvinnik? We'll find out. They're both probably coming in this feeling quite confident. Tefel has had better runs the previous couple of days, if my brain remembers correctly. And I'm fairly sure my brain does remember correctly. He's got through to like the round of 16 minimum, I think. It's really unfortunately difficult to check while I am casting how it's gone. I can have a look at yesterday fairly quickly to see how that went. So I can't actually observe and look somewhere else. That's where the problem comes, because I'm doing it all. Tefel managed to make it through yesterday to... Where did he get to? Tefel did make it through to the round of 16 yesterday, so my memory did serve right. Whereas, if we take a look at what Botvinnik did, Botvinnik was unfortunately eliminated in the first round to Minimath. So, today, Botvinnik already getting a round further than he did yesterday. Tefel going to be looking to, well, definitely better his previous performances and wants to get into that quarterfinal game where he's got a shot at advancing into WCS Challenger. So, Barracks after the command center, down from Botvinnik, who adds in the gas now, whereas Tefel went pull into hatch. This is what Tefel does so many times. Doesn't actually go hatch first, which is something that most Zerg players will do up against Terran. Instead, he just likes playing it nice and safely, nice and steadily. And Tefel actually has quite a unique build order, or general build style, up against most races. And where that is probably most apparent is that around the kind of 40 to 50 supply, generally speaking, he'll be a lot happier waiting, and rather than droning really heavily, grabbing a couple of lings out. Normally around the kind of 14 to 20 amount, just to pressure with speed and try and gain map control, keep things looking basically all clear for him, and pick off any kind of harassment or any greedy thirds, things like that. Meanwhile, Botvinnik, I know less about what he's going to be doing. I don't believe I've cast him anywhere near as much as I have Tefel, which is a little bit annoying, but hey, not the biggest problem. I'll get to see something new and exciting, which is always important. By the way, sorry for an ad that may have cut off the start of this game. I'm just seeing on the reap through now. Apparently, Twitch ads went a little bit weird. They're doing it a little bit weird for me, so apologies for that. Overlord now. Taking a little bit of damage. Tefel frantically trying to get it out, but remember, this little fence prevents it from escaping. Air units can't go over that, so while merry-go-round seems to have a lot of dead space, it actually doesn't. And down that Overlord goes. Tefel, as a result of that, getting a little minor supply block. He's got another Overlord already on its way though, so it's not the end of the world. And also, hey, it's early on. The important thing is that Tefel knows that this was a very early command center down. Little peek now on what's happening from Botvinnik. He's going to be switching over this barracks and the reactor. Or the barracks and the factory to get the use of the reactor. Pump out some Hellions. All looking good. We've also got a starport now being produced. So, could be for Banshee. Probably going to be for Banshee since we do see a tech lab being made. Tefel, on the other hand, he's producing a third hatchery now. Expanding up quickly. Adding in all 4 gases though. And a build Tefel quite often goes for is a very large muta play. And getting these 4 gases early on could indicate that's what he's looking for. The other thing is that he loves Roach Hydra. So the Roach could actually lead into Roach Hydra, even against a biocomposition out of Botvinnik. Cloak being researched. A third CC also coming down on the Terran side. Meanwhile, just a quick poke and scout sees that, yep, that is a hatchery. And the third base is on its way. Couple more creep tumors are getting taken down. Meanwhile, Tefel, getting the double evolution chamber and his roach run finished up, can effectively wall off with the aid of those 2 queens. And that means that the 4 Hellions not going to be able to get into his natural base or really do much damage. If any drones come down to the 3rd, they will be vulnerable, at least until these first few roaches come through. But Tefel adding in now that +1 missile attack, as well as the +1 carapace, and it would appear that we're getting either a big roach play or a roach hydra play coming down from our Zerg. So a little bit of poking, a little bit of prodding now from Tefel, trying to weaken up these Hellions, make them a bit more squishy. But upon sight of the roaches, the Hellions should be considering either going forward and trying to pick off some workers, or running away, wheeling away. And that's the right thing to do. Roaches just ridiculously effective up against a decent number of Hellions, so it's incredibly important that Botvinnik doesn't lose those. Especially when he's got these Banshees waiting. Now, he's already got 1 Banshee out, getting a 2nd one. Cloak finished. Or about to finish up. No, it is finished up, never mind. Just waiting for the element of surprise. Wants to move in with 2 Banshee as opposed to 1, and then the 2nd one following, because that would give Tefel ample opportunity to prepare for the Banshees. Instead, he wants to try and catch him off guard and deal a maximum amount of damage. Creep spread coming out from Tefel at the moment is looking really solid, spreading across this map fast. Of course, he knows where his opponent is, spawning to the south, because of that overlord that he had earlier. Other than that though, Tefel is lacking quite a lot of information, hasn't been able to rescout, having lost the overlord early on, so he doesn't know about the 3rd orbital command, doesn't know about the starport or anything like that. Gonna get his first little peek of these Banshee now. And we should see either an Overseer or some Spore Crawlers get started very fast. Overseer is viable, because of the fact Hydralisks are in production. But with this cloak, we are now going to see a couple of these queens retreating away. 1 will die, at least. Quite a few drones are probably going to be slaughtered helplessly as they frantically wiggle and glide away. Overseer, though, in position, the 3 queens making very short work of these Banshee. And losing a queen and 4 workers, not that bad. Hellions trying to run by to the 3rd, they're met by a wall of roaches, which just say no and spit acid all over them. Now, Botvinnik, economically speaking, is in a pretty fine spot. He may be down a little bit in workers, but remember, he's got 3 mules. That means economically, in terms of the mineral income, he's up, or at least level, with his opponent. And Tefel, he's just mining a bit more gas, but if a Terran player is going through a biocomposition, that gas is important. But these 3 bunkers, 1 done, the other 2 not going to finish, and they're going to be crucially important as Tefel now applying some pressure. These siege tanks going to be a very key piece to the puzzle in this defense, but a nicer round from Tefel. He's coming in from multiple angles, minimizing the amount of splash damage done. The tank on the high ground isn't even safe because of this Overseer, which grants high ground vision, snipes it off, and the 3rd orbital command is going to fall. Great pick off here by Tefel, who keeps moving forward, and Botvinnik is at 29 army supply to Tefel's 99. Tefel double his opponent's supply, still pressuring in. The bunker will fall at the natural, meaning the wall-off is no longer a thing. The supply depot is also dying. Not that it was supply block for Botvinnik, just because he's lost so much already. Tefel pushing forward. GG is called, and Tefel takes game number 1 in this best of 3.